Hi everyone, welcome to our 26th tutorial on Erlang. Today we're going to further develop our Erlang web application using the Chicago Bus framework. Before we get started, let's just check our previous application. So here inside it, it contains ebin, include, log, private source, the bus config file, the rebar, and the start server. And the first thing we always make sure of is when we edit the bus config file is that we have the right location for the Chicago Bus framework. So we just save that and close that. Now that is done, we just right click on our folder and we open command here. Just bring the windows here. The first thing we want to do is to take a look at our previous application, and then we can further develop on that using Stylesheets, JavaScript, and so on. So the first thing we do is we type in rebar compile. We let the application compile, and afterwards we're going to start server. So the next step is start server. So this will start an Erlang command and everything should be okay. So now we know that the server is running. So the next step is let's open a web browser and we go to the local host, which is 127.0.0.1, and change to port 8001. So right here we have our previous application: home, hello world, UXLearner, IT Calo, base title. So let's get started with improving this application. We're just going to minimize this right here. We'll minimize this as well. We'll open the hello world folder, and let's say the first thing we want to do first of all is to include a style sheet into our application so we can change the look and feel of the application itself. So what we do is we simply go to view, and we change the base HTML file. So edit. So right here, the first thing we want to do is change the base title so it will be dynamic. So every other view form can edit it based on whatever form they are. So we're going to call this let's see, dtitle underscore title. So that's the underscore title, and we would like to also include other pages into our web application. So by what we do is we create a nav, and we have a nav and inside nav we want basically two hyperlinks. Let's say ahref, and href equals the home page, which we're going to call index. So index. So if you click on this, it's going to navigate you to the index page, and we're going to call this, that's the link, and the name of it is home and /a. The next page we want is an about page, so we just copy and paste this. Let's say we're going to create about, change this to about, and we save that. So let's see if I'm missing anything else. Yes, I'm going to check everything else later. So this has to match the folder pattern. So for example, I'm just going to put this to the side here so we can see what is going on. So on the side here we have index, and index has a file called index.html. So what we want to do now is to also create a folder, new folder, and we call it about. About is going to have an HTML file called about. So go to new file here, and while we're on the new file, let's just open up the index page so we can just copy and paste it. So we just copy and paste this to make things a bit faster. So we save it. We've extended to the base HTML class file, and we have the block, the start block, and the end block. So just put a space there, and this is our HTML file. So if you go that this is our HTML code. So if we go into the base, we have the block. Now anything within the block here is basically going to be transferred in here. So we have home and an hello pointer, so which we're going to see how it works later on. In the new file, we simply have exactly the same thing. So in the about page, we want the h1 header to be called about, so we can tell it apart from the index page. And hello, we just simply leave it as hello, and we save it as about.html. So now we have our HTML about page. The next step is to change the route. So if we go into private, in the static hello world routes, we just edit it, and the front page we see the front/ controller index action is index, and we're going to do exactly the same thing, just copy and paste. And what we want to do here is we want to navigate to the about page. So we first put in the link to it, which is about. This is basically the folder structure, about and about. And the controller name is going to be about. And the action we want to target is the about action. And we save it. So now we have the basic index and we've changed the hello world routes. The next part is the Erlang code. So we need to go to the controller. So in the source controller, we copy this, copy and paste, and we just rename it. So we follow the standard that the last part is going to be the controller, the middle part is going to be the name of the controller itself, which is going to be about, and the final part is the name of the project. So we save and we edit this using Notepad. So we have to make sure everything is balanced here. So we change this to about, and the action is about, and hello, we look for the pointer hello and we change that to hello world. I'm just going to restructure this to make it a bit nicer. And that is that. So we save it, and we can edit the index as well. So edit index, copy and paste this. So in the index we have OK, we have hello world, we have the title would be index home page actually. So we have the home page and we save it. Before we go any further, let's just test this and see how well it works. So basically what we do here is simply open up the command again, and we select rebar compile since the server is already running. Oops, looks like we have a mistake somewhere, and let's try find it. I think I know where it is. So if we go back to the hello world about controller, yes, we need to export the about, and it takes in two arguments, get and an empty list. So we save, we go back to the compiler, rebar compile, and the server is still there, gets everything. More mistakes. Okay. So we just check that again. Yes, what's going on today? Nah, that's the end. See, this is why I like using IntelliJ, because it lets you know even before you compile there's something wrong with it. And I must give a shout out to whoever developed the plugin for the Erlang plugin for IntelliJ. So much respect. And then save, check the other one, make sure it's not broken as well, since it was a copy and paste. So it's that, save, and I believe everything should run well now. So so far what we getting? Okay, so we open up the web browser again. Let's see, simple refresh, We didn't have to we didn't have to get rid of the web browser. We can just leave it running. So we have home and about. So let's click on home. We're on the home page. About takes us to the about page. And as you can see on the title, we have about page, and on the home we have home page. So let's leave that the way it is. The next part is let's make our application a little bit nicer looking. I stole our style sheet code from, what was it? An HTML book, Head First HTML, I believe, which you can get from O'Reilly Media. Just they have really nice ebooks there, and no more books actually, everything. So, okay, what we do is to edit the style sheets. We have to go into, let's say, the hello world folder, the private, and the static folder. Everything static goes in here. So what we want to do is simply create a folder called style sheets. Folder style sheets. I actually have two style sheets ready. I'm just going to paste them here. So let's see what it looks like. So we open the styled form CSS, and we have the tags, the body, front area text, tables, all those things, and the other one, which I don't think I'm going to actually use, but yeah, we can just, as you can see, borrowed from Starbucks CSS, head first HTML, and that's where I got the HTML from. So check out the book Head First HTML. Anyway, now that we have that, we just close it, and we have to go back to our base HTML. So now that we're back to our base HTML, we want every page, we want all the pages to look exactly the same. So in the head part, we want to add in the style sheets, which we're going to put in by. So to add in the style sheet, we're basically going to add the link. So link type equals text CSS. Arial is a style sheet. The link, if that's it, is, now we have to navigate to the location of it, and we have it in static style sheets. So that's that, basically that link, but I'm not going to copy it because of the, so we put the link, which is static / style sheets / first ndb.css, and we close the tag, and we simply just copy and paste this. Yep. And we change the last one to, what was it, styled form, I believe. So save. I think that's everything. So once we save it, we open back our command console and we compile. It's the server. Okay. A browser, refresh, and here we have it. Home, about. The next part is JavaScript. So we now have to add in a JavaScript to that application. So what I do is I actually like using jQuery, so we have to download jQuery. So download jQuery. Let's see. Let's download the compressed version. Nope, we have to save it as. Save as. Save. That's done. We close this. We minimize, and we open the download folder, and we copy jQuery -110.2. So that goes into a folder. We create a new folder called JS for JavaScript. JS, and we put that into it. And let's see. Okay, yeah, we put that into it, and now we want to write our own JavaScript code just to test it using the jQuery. So what we do is, if I can find my notepad. Alright, so we open a new notepad, and we want to write an alert. Basically, you click on a button and it shows an alert. Simple, something basic and simple like that. So we get started by typing in $, document dot ready. We're going to write a function called, so ready is going to call a function called message click. So that's going to be our function. So that's that. And now let's write the message click function. So function message click. So this is a message click function, and what we want to do is, let's say, put in the $, and the name of our button, we're going to call it test button. No. Let's see. Message a button, I guess. Dot click. And now we're going to write another function for the alert we show. So the alert is going to be the function name will be message alert. Okay. Now let's write the message alert function. So copy and paste this. Well, no point really. Okay. Function message alert. In message alert, we're going to have alert. Hello from UXLearner IT Carlo 2013. Oops. And so let's save this. We go back to the static folder, which is another word, private static JavaScript. We call this click function. Well, click, I guess, .js. So now that we have the two JavaScript files ready, we're going to the base HTML. So we're going to the base HTML file, and let's add in the script. So script, save. So let's put a button on that home page. So let's say, actually on the about page. So in the about page, we're going to create an input ID. Now the ID has to match the click JavaScript button name. So we open it again. It's called message a button. We go back to about, and that's the ID. And the type, it's a submit button. Submit. And the value would be message a, and that is that done. So save, and hopefully when we run this, everything should run smoothly. So we open back our command, rebar compile. Oops. Rebar compile. Check the server, everything should be okay. We go back to our web browser and we refresh, and something might have gone wrong somewhere. Oops. How didn't I? What's going on today? So we save it again, and yes, we compile. Go back, refresh. And here we go. Hello from UXLearner IT Color 2013. So that is it for today. In the next tutorial, we're going to be talking about the post method, and we're going to work with boss DB. So until then, see you next time.